pretty great.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
Woo! Mic
A
check,
huge
1, 2,
thank
3.
you. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just testing the mic.
Okay, a huge thank you to Pick Underscored on Reddit for that amazing video. How many of you in here are audiobook readers and had not seen the progression that was in the books yet? Isn't that incredible?
was pretty sick, huh? You
Oh
guys
my
missed
God,
out.
I truly I couldn't watch it backstage because I knew I'd come out sobbing. So, but we are so excited. Thank you so much for coming today. I'd love for us to introduce ourselves and then talk about how we're going to run the day. You want to go first?
Oh, I get to go first.
Yeah.
Wow, so honored. Hi, I'm TD Orel. I'm an indie author. Oh my gosh, stop it, you guys. That's so kind. You might recognize me from my Silly Inner Thoughts video series. And I'm just as surprised as you are that I wiggled my way onto this panel. But I'm delighted to be here. And
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. And, you know, overall, the Stormlight Archive is my favorite fantasy series. And it's been really formative in both, like, my career as a writer and in a lot of ways it's impacted me as a person, I think. And so don't boo me, but Wind and Truth, unfortunately, is my least favorite in the Stormlight Archive. And that's not to say that it's not a great book, but I went in with a lot of really specific expectations. I needed to see Kaladin just absolutely beat the brakes off Moash. I needed to see Dalinar give Adolin a hug. I needed 2 steamy shower scenes, and we only got 1. But I'm honored to be here, and these
I
guys
heard the
kind of
Adolin
let
and
me...
Kaladin one was cut.
What's that?
The Adolin and Kaladin scene was cut.
Yeah, tragically. Yeah.
Are we allowed to say
We'll
that?
be recreating that
Are we
later
allowed
if
to say
anyone
that?
wants to come watch. But I'll pass it off to Mo.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm me. I'm from Edgedancing Through Life on Instagram and TikTok.
Woo!
Yeah! I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you. I love you. So I'm so happy to be here because a year ago I came here by myself, knowing no one. I sent like a random message to Stormlight Memes. Shout out to my girl Ash. And I was like, hey, I don't know anyone. Can I please say hi? And then I had a weird idea of hyperfixation, addressed as Urithiru. And I came here last year and I was like, oh my God, you guys don't just get it. Like, you guys like get me. And so without trying to cry too much, because that'll happen plenty in the panel, I literally started an account because you all are my home, and Nexus is my home, and I'm just, every day I'm here, I'm so grateful. And online, I just be weird and combine musicals and books, and that's fun for me. I am probably on like the super fan end of the spectrum. Wind and Truth is my favorite Stormlight book, like by far. All right, 3 claps, got it. I am coming into it, and you know, for me, it just worked. I mean, we will talk in detail about why it worked for people, but the rich, like getting to pay off on 5 books worth of character development means so much to me, and their journeys mean so much to me, and I think that a lot of this comes down to taste, and I'm so glad that we're all here and getting to talk together about our different tastes, because I know this room is going to reflect that too. So by no means is this like, I won't like chase you down and like hunt you down if you don't like Wind and Truth. That's like if you didn't read Skyward yet, I will do that. But I can't say that either. Oh God, this is going well. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. Thank you for having me. What about you?
Hear it for me. All right. Not me, Milana. But I'm Gary. Some of you guys might know me as Cosmere Junkie. I don't show my face as much as some people. You guys are awesome.
Biggest Cosmere content creator on Instagram.
Yeah, you are the #1 Cosmere content creator.
I know that's right.
Maybe, we'll see. Mo's coming in hot, so make sure you follow all these people, for sure. But I got into the Cosmere because my uncle recommended that I read The Way of Kings. So I started in the deep end. Any of you guys start with The Way of Kings? Yeah? Yeah, I know, like, it's not for everybody. It's not the starting place for everybody, but it was for me, and it was perfect. And I love it so much, and it's, to this day, still my favorite Brandon Sanderson book he's ever written. I love Wind and Truth. It's not going to beat Way of Kings for me. And then Words of Radiance is like We love Words of Radiance. But like, I would probably give Wind and Truth maybe third. It's like, I love Oathbringer too. And the thing is like, whatever you give 5th place, you're like, it's still like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Like, it's like it just speaks to how well like Brandon writes, that like your 5th place book is still like a 8 or 9 out of 10.
Amen.
Yeah.
When TD shared that it was his least favorite Stormlight book, I remember he wrapped it up by telling us, he was like, but it's a treat to be on Roshar.
Yeah.
Which I just feel like summarizes.
I'll always be happy to be back on Roshar. So, yeah. Did some memes. So if you like memes, that's what I started doing a little bit after the pandemic started, as a way to like socialize and meet people and interact with fandom, because I classically am terrible at getting the people in my real life to become as obsessed as I am with the Cosmere. I've tried with my wife, and she reads them because she loves me. Emily. I've tried with my siblings, my parents. No one has quite gotten into it as much, but I've gotten to connect with all of you guys, and it's been just the best treat ever. So thank you for that.
Okay, hi, I'm Mo, aka Cosmere Mo, and
Woo!
Stop it. Okay, and this is my emotional support, Molly. I'd like to thank Milana for this. This is gonna get me through the panel. I have a very unique story of how I came to be a Cosmere fan. My dad knew Brandon before he was published, and so as he was publishing these books, we would have sleepovers outside on the trampoline as a family, or when we go camping, he would just retell the story. So I grew up meeting Vin and Serini and all these people, so I have been around for forever. Wind and Truth, I was pretty neutral. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. There were things that I really loved and things that I didn't really love, 2 of which we will go over on the panel, but the third one I don't think should be spoken into existence like ever.
You mean Syl's Chul?
No, there is no Cholosi in Bossing Say. Anyways, that's me. Thanks for coming, guys. I'm so excited to be here.
And let's just jump into the panel, right?
No.
So I'm Seth. I'm the Cosmere Academy. I started social media 3 years ago as Cosmere for Dummies, and that account got the banhammer because of copyright stuff. So now I'm the Cosmere Academy, and I am loving every second of it. My feelings on Wind and Truth are overall positive. I enjoyed the story. I have a few major gripes that like are a blaring light distracting me from the actual enjoyment of the book. But overall positive.
Awesome.
Yeah. Seth. Woo. So the way we're going to spend our time today is we're going to go through a few topics that we're all passionate about. We'll all chime in. We'll spend the first part of the time doing that. And then the second half, instead of just trying to condense a 62-hour audiobook into what? We have like
90
seconds
minutes
remaining. Instead of doing that, we really want to know what you in the room care about. So Mo's going to explain how we're able to do that.
Okay, so I had so much fun playing with Canva. So on the top here, you're going to see a QR code, and a lot of you are already entering your questions. Please feel free to drop any questions, any comments, insults if you really want to.
Please don't. I'm so sorry.
Like the ones that you want to see us answer the most, and we will try and answer them at the end with our Q&A portion. But we like seeing you guys chat. We like seeing your opinions and things like that. So please be active in that.
The top liked questions are the ones that will get answered first.
Exactly. And then as we go through the panel, we've got a few slides with pictures and art. We love our artists. We love to support our artists. So please scan the QR codes if you like what you see, and you'll be directed to their websites or their social media pages, just whatever we could get our hands on. That being said, vamonos.
Ow, ow!
All right, who's kicking us off with Adolin?
Seth, Mo, how you guys feeling?
I'm on Adolin. I forgot about that. But that's okay. I could talk about him all day. I'm in love with him. I very clearly have a type for tall blondes with blue eyes. I married one, so I basically married Adolin. It works.
Ow, ow!
Why don't you tell us what your fave was?
On Adolin?
Yes.
Adolin was the GOAT in this book. I think most of us can agree.
Is that a popular
Adolin was
opinion?
what?
Is that a popular opinion?
Adolin? No, I don't think so. I don't hear people supporting him. I don't hear it. There's a couple. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I think everybody had their time to shine in the book. Adolin shone basically start to finish.
Yeah.
Everybody had a high point. Adolin did not have a low point, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Period.
So Adolin secured his spot in the Stormlight Archive as my favorite character in this book.
Yeah.
And Adolin falls into this, my favorite category of character, which I deem as the underpowered leader. And this is a character trope that we see, like, all my favorite characters usually have this trope. So it's Batman, it's Captain America, it's Sokka of the Water Tribe, it's Roran Stronghammer. And it's these characters that aren't gifted with these, like, they're not as powerful as their peers. And despite, like, lacking these maybe, like, flashy abilities, they're still, like, a really respected and feared person on either the battlefield, or they're just proven to be like a central pillar of the team. And I fell in love with the Stormlight Archive with the first Chasm Fiend hunt. The era of the Shard Bearer and the Shard Plates, that's when I was like, okay, this is for me, and I'm locked in. And fortunately, we haven't seen Adolin, like, fully sharded up in, like, a few books, essentially, until Wind and Truth. And to see him in his, that Colin blue shard plate, wielding Maya down in the trenches, doing what he does best, he kind of stole the show for me in this book.
I don't think we mentioned it, but I don't think it needs to be. But I'm just going to say, this is full Wind and Truth spoilers, by the way, all the way through the epilogue. Feel like it's a given, but...
Wait, like you had to read the book?
You had to have read the book.
But no, there's just so much good to say about him. I loved his adoption of Yanagon and just him taking him under his wing and being the friend that Yanagon just needed.
Who thought watching people play chess would be entertaining?
I loved it.
That was so great.
So much. But the thing that got me the most emotional, and I might even cry about it because it kind of ties a little bit to my personal life, is that Adolin finally found it in his heart to forgive his dad. And he never got to see him again and give him a hug and live that forgiveness. And it, like, shatters my heart. But I think it'd be really cool to see Blackthorn versus Adolin on the back half. So I think that would be sick. I think that would be sick.
Can y'all imagine
Tears.
the emotions that go through Adolin's head if he sees the Blackthorn?
I can't even think about it. I'm going to, like...
Anyone else have thoughts they want to share on Adolin? I hate
I loved
kidding.
the peg leg.
Totally kidding.
I loved the peg leg.
Yes.
I was actually, like, when he lost his leg, and there was a moment, I can't remember the exact scene, but there was a moment when it felt like, oh, Stormlight's going to heal it. And I immediately was like, Brandon, don't you dare.
Yeah.
I was like, do not heal that leg, right?
Yeah. And I think I love, and this is why you hire sensitivity readers, and this is why you, like, write with empathy, is anyone who hasn't ever read Brandon Sanderson's essay Outside.
Yeah.
It's my favorite piece of writing he's ever
good.
done.
I've never heard you
so
talk
much
about it
to me.
before.
And it goes into why he writes, and it's to understand people. And so when it comes to people who are different, and when it comes to disabilities, he not only has sensitivity writers, but also just really listens and learns. And I think that's reflected. I think one of my favorite choices Brandon has ever made is in Dawn Shard. That is full spoiler, right? Because it's in, okay. So Dawn Shard, cover your ears. But Risen, in order to accept the Dawn Shard, she also has to accept that she will never be healed from her paralysis, like ever. No amount of Stormlight, she will never be a Radiant. Like, she cannot do that. And I just, like, yeah, that's a great choice, because I mean, I think that there are some examples of Stormlight healing, but there are also examples of people with disabilities, like, not needing healing in that sense, but living full, rich lives and showing people of different capabilities who are able to just be like one of the four most powerful things in the entire Cosmere. So I think, I know you were like, Brandon, don't you dare. I don't think for a second I was like, oh, Brandon's absolutely gonna keep the peg leg, because I think that not all of us can heal an injury like that, and that representation is important in the books.
Plus, it deepened the bond with him and his plate spren. You know, they were able to read that need into him, and
oh gosh,
so cool.
I love that
another
part.
rise up. And Maya Lauren, her personality coming out in this book, I didn't love. I was like very jarred because Mylarn's like the sweet, sickly one that you want to care for, and then she,
Called Adolin the S word.
yes,
Yes.
she's just she one of the guys.
I really liked Adolin's character arc, and I liked what he learned about oaths. I don't know if I'm 100% aligned with his character arc, but there is something about like oaths and blindly following them and finding the nuance in that, because I think it's important for us to be able to like
Not moving.
realize that we need to change, make promises, but being willing to realize when the promises we made lose their meaning and the promise is more important than why we made the promise. And I was rereading Wind and Truth in preparation for this, and that like I think was really my favorite part about Adolin's character arc. I know he was a badass. I know he like did some incredible fight scenes, but yeah, I loved that sentiment that he gave.
Yep. I think that's a good segue to the next one, yeah?
Yeah. Kaladin.
Do you mind if I start?
Take it off.
This is my favorite one to talk about because it's the one I'm most passionate about. Kaladin has been like my beacon of hope since Way of Kings, and he's my favorite character for the first 3 books. Adolin then kind of takes the torch after that. But I love Kaladin because I see so much of myself in him. And being able to watch him go through these hard things and pull through, even though day after day is bad, and he pulls out and he has these super sick, dramatic moments, and you're like, love you, because I can be that too. Mm-hmm. That wasn't Kaladin in this book, and it broke my heart because he is on a path of healing that's very expedited, and I can't see myself in that. And so I struggled, and it felt unrealistic to me because that time I just jumped. And I was talking to Ben on TikTok, and he said that a lot of people felt this, and he said if it helps, this came up a lot even when the first draft of Wind of Truth is being workshopped. It feels like it should be a 1 year later book, but can't because of how it was set up.
Yeah.
And so I really struggled with that because Kaladin suddenly was not healed, but in a very healthy, happy-ish place. Like Shallan mentioned that he was so out of character and coming to give her a hug, and he was super optimistic. And I was like, literally days ago, Teft died, and like all the events of the tower, Homeboy should still have like stress. He should be mourning, and he's not mourning. And I was like really kind of hurt by that because I felt like I lost a part of myself in this character progressing. And I know it seems weird because he's not real, but I think in these moments of these characters, and we see ourselves in them, we allow ourselves to love ourselves through these characters in a way we can't love ourselves directly.
That right there.
Thank you.
Now, we've talked about this.
A million times.
I think Kaladin's story through the Stormlight Archive has been one of struggle, one of dragging himself up from the depths. And so there's 2 sides to the coin. There is the happy side of the coin to finally see our boy be happy. And then there's the other side of the coin, which is what we personally relate to, which is sometimes, we feel that like, well, why can't I get there as fast as Kaladin did? When his best friend literally died days before and he's fine, it does feel a little disenfranchising to see that and feel that disconnect. And Therapist Kaladin, for me, honestly, I loved it. I loved Therapist Kaladin. But I was inspired by Therapist Kaladin. I loved it. But I do agree that, especially in the first day 1 and day 2 of the book, there was a little bit of a disconnect for me. It's like, whoa, why is he being so fine all of a sudden? And I think when we talked about this, I think I attribute it to Stormlight, right? To the Stormlight and the bond with Syl and everything he's been through magically, right? And it's easy to see somebody get stabbed with a shard blade and suck in a little bit of Stormlight, and boom, the wound is healed. We're used to seeing that in fantasy. That's normal. What we're not used to seeing is the struggles we go through day to day, the mental trauma and the weight that we all carry. We don't have a way of just breathing in some Stormlight, making a bond with a magic fairy, and that goes away, which Kaladin kind of did. It took a long time. It was a lot of hard work. But yeah, the speed, it was very fast.
It doesn't just disappear. And like I recognize that people have with depression. And I know healing is linear and everybody's different. Like me personally, I have days where I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then other days, I've just got a huge rain cloud hovering over my head. And my friend Condor Lee on TikTok, when I was discussing this online, he made a good point. And he was like, well, Kaladin could just be on an emotional healing high. And I thought that was a good point.
Yeah.
So in the back half, I'm really looking forward to seeing Therapist Kaladin return as also Captain/Bridge for Kaladin. We bring back all that he is, just a little different, a little changed and developed in his ability to help other people along with himself.
Speaking of the different sides of Kaladin, Harold. I want to hear. Okay, everybody,
I
hush.
got it. Do I need to show my...
Only yell out right now if you called that happening. That was not a lot of voices.
Some
They
people
were
are very
loud, but
smart.
that was not many.
I want to know what you guys think about Harold Kaladin. We haven't heard from you yet.
Well, I will say those were really articulate arguments for the difference between, keep in mind, I'm not as intelligent as my fellow panelists. I come with a much more juvenile perspective where you don't go to a John Wick movie to see John Wick say, like, I forgive all of you. And so, unfortunately, that's the mindset. Again, I came in and I was just licking my lips waiting for him to come across a little gentleman named Moash. And so to not have, the very badass and very active character that Kaladin is, I was really disappointed. And like I said, your points were far more articulate and mature. But I want to see him punch some people in the chin.
Same. I love the drama queen that he is. We love it.
Oh,
we
him
love a
versus
scene.
the Pursuer in book 4? Come on. Come on.
Sure. But those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll talk about his relationship with Syl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have Sylaladin shippers out here?
Sylaladin shippers, raise your hand.
Whoa, that
I'm
is
hearing
an
yays and
interesting
boos.
We weren't
motley of
expecting that.
Are you
sounds.
feeling at home?
I was, yeah.
You feeling at
like
home?
I know it was very controversial, and I get like a lot of the points against it because, especially with Syl, like in the first couple books being so childlike, but she's developing and growing, and she's thousands of years old, older than Kaladin. So if anything, it's kind of a reverse situation here as she regains her memories, remembers her old Radiant. But I absolutely loved seeing their relationship grow. I loved her becoming a scribe for Kaladin and then working together. I loved their dance, their kata together.
The dance. Where's Shane?
So good.
Shandel is right here
Yeah,
in
Shandel.
the center. Shandel has an amazing piece.
Stunning.
Beautiful piece of art of
Shandel,
their dance
I think
together.
it's Shandel_art on Instagram if you want to look her up.
Yeah. No, beautiful art. And we're already seeing so many people do art of that scene, which was just great. But I love seeing it develop because that's what real relationships are like. Like no relationship is going to be the same the day you meet and the last day that you're together, right? It's going to develop and grow, and they are developing and growing. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the back half and see where it goes.
Okay, let's ask me. She's got really strong thoughts on
I
this.
feel like you can share first.
Well, I'll set you up with a question. And the age-old question is, does shipping Kaladin and Syl make you a hopeless romantic or a pervert?
I thought we said we weren't going to say that.
Oh. You know where I land, but I would love to hear your thoughts.
That I'm
'cause I know
a
you're
pervert?
passionate about this.
Okay.
She's got thoughts. Listen up.
Edge dancing through life, not Herald of Second Chances. I'm a Sylaladin shipper. Okay, but all in seriousness, so I thought a lot about this conversation because here's what I don't want. I don't want to try to convince everyone like you have to like them romantically because platonic soulmates exist and we should respect that. And Mo is my platonic soulmate.
I love you.
Everyone is my platonic soulmate. Everyone in this room, everyone in this conference is my platonic soulmate. I have no favorites. Anyways.
Rude. I just blew you a kiss.
Boo hiss.
Well, platonic and romantic. Heyo.
Fine, I'll smooch you after.
Okay, I'm distracting myself. Okay, listen. It's never happened before. It took me 30 years to get an ADHD diagnosis. So anyways, I think that we can all agree that Syl, Frenna, and Kaladin are soulmates.
Yes.
Point blank.
Yes.
I
think we
think on
can
a literal mechanical investiture level.
Spiritual
yes.
level.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what you're here for.
I am not trying to. I think that ships like romantic, where you want people romantically. I think that's just. I think often that's a taste thing, and so I'm not going to try to convince people like, if you don't see that spark, you don't see that spark. That's fine. Taste is a beautiful thing. What I am going to ask for is for the if we might maybe dial down the discourse on the anti-Sylaladin shipping just a scooch. And here's why. So the first thing I want to acknowledge is what I think to me it makes a lot of sense, is that like it's icky, right? Your favorite word is icky. It's gross, right? There's like a lot of things that feel concerning about it. There's like a weird power dynamic in the beginning. There's
Chols.
there is no Cholosi Blessing say, as Mo says. My perspective and my read on this is, I think one of the most concerning parts is how often Syl is described as childlike, and I think that rightfully, I think to be like a generally moral person, if you see someone described as childlike, to romantically ship them with an adult should raise some red flags. My perspective is that. Clap. Yes. No child adults together. You heard it here first.
A hot take, a wildly hot take.
Oh, I'm not getting invited back at all next year. So, God. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I can't look at anyone. I think that's fair, right? I think that is an appropriate position to have. My read on it is that, I don't know what Brandon is designing. We're best friends, but he doesn't tell me these things. I think that he painted himself a little bit into a corner, because I think that the attributes he was trying to describe in Syl, and still just described in Syl, is wonder. Like, my 3-year-old thought that the best part of the parade on Thanksgiving was a spinning golden toothbrush. Like, that was the most amazing thing he'd ever seen in his life. So, like, this sense of wonder that Syl has, that then Kaladin in the 5th book, like, starts to have, which is really beautiful. And then also the other aspect, the amnesia element, the cost of being the first or one of the first friend to cross from Shadesmar in order to make a bond. And I think that amnesia also, like, you know, can get mapped to ignorance about the world, like how we see pattern in book 2. And I think that the frequency of the language childlike, the way I read it, is meant to describe the attributes of, you know, the trauma of forgetting when crossing over, and also the wonder that Syl has that she maintains through the books. Because of that, I will clarify that I don't want a romantic relationship at any point in the 5 books that we saw. I would only accept it when the power dynamic is equal, because they're both basically Spren in the pot. So I will clarify that. Yeah. I think it's super icky. I don't like anything with the power dynamic. So, like, Kaladin can, one of my commenters pointed out, like, Kaladin can literally kill Syl at any time, which, valid. That's, you know, that's how my husband and I met, but I don't. Sorry, that's a joke. A bad one. Okay, I need to stop talking.
No, but they're learning to live for each other, right? Or not just live for each other, but live for themselves. They're looking for something that is personal, and that's part of the arc that I love. That, like, she's learning, like, what does she want besides just taking care of this human?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I chime in here?
Please.
I am not against Sylaladin, but I'm not for it either. However, I do think it is being set up. I don't think Kaladin is ready for that yet. He's still very much in a space where he needs to be him and doesn't have the energy to be in a relationship and care for another person in a romantic way. So I don't think he's ready, but I noticed throughout Wind and Truth that Brandon changed verbiage. Kaladin used to refer to Syl as Storming Spren, and now he refers to her as Storming Woman. Mm-hmm. Or she makes herself be realized in
full size,
like, human form, and she's getting to the point where she can physically touch things. So I think it very well could be set up as something in this back half. But I mean, I don't know. I'm happy to see where it goes. I'm a vibe reader. I'm super chill. I just like books. And
One of the scenes I really liked with them was actually when like they all come together for their last goodbyes with Adolin and Shallan, and then they watch Adolin and Shallan walk away from that, and Adolin and Shallan are holding hands, and then Kaladin and Syl fly off, and they're holding hands as well. It was
Yeah, it's a very
I forgot about that.
and, yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Don't cry.
Yeah.
Don't cry.
Is now a good time to talk
when you
about the
say-
promise?
When you say time, like it's heading that direction, we have 10 years.
Yeah, we got
that
lots
we
of
could
time,
jump to.
guys.
Yeah.
And
Lots
so
of time.
that dynamic could be very different in 10 years.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
Kaladin, Syl, Shallan, and Adolin will have their reunion. They promised, and that is Brandon
It's gonna
promising
happen.
us.
It's gonna happen.
It will happen.
If it doesn't, I'm suing the man himself.
But it's just so tragic, though. But it is so tragic that like they don't know that, and
Yeah.
the only one who might know it is Kaladin and Syl. But like as far as Adolin and Shallan are concerned, Kaladin's
If they even know that, we don't even know. They all left off separate. Like
that's true.
Yeah.
they could be clueless, but
Speaking of Shallan, though,
yeah.
we love Shallan. So for me, Shallan in this book actually got me back on the Shallan train. I loved Shallan in book 1. I adored her in book 2. Book 3 and 4, I didn't really care. And book 5, I was like, all right, we back, baby. I love Shallan. Her story with the Ghostbloods is fascinating, and her relationship with Adolin is just absolute peak goals. I think Shallan is a fascinating character, and the trauma that she's been through, the way that it stunted her growth in certain areas and her personality and stuff is just something that I think a lot of us need to see in a character, because a lot of us have been through that. And I made a post a while ago about Shallan, and there's a ton of Shallan hate. There's a ton of Shallan love, but especially in the first book, people kind of hate her a lot, and they say like she's annoying, she's immature, she's quippy at the wrong times, and yes, because she grew up in a very traumatized household where she had to mask all of this, and she uses her humor as a deflection. And what I like about Wind and Truth is she's now found a way to merge that kind of shield part of herself with the real version of who she is as a person, and she's learned to trust the relationships in her life. That's what I love best.
That's beautiful. Can I share a hot take?
Please?
I do not ship Adolin and Shallan.
Whoa.
I know. Boo me right now.
Well, you know who I ship.
I know who you ship. But no, listen. I think that Shallan needs Adolin. I think Adolin is so good for her. But as someone who sees myself in Adolin and his need to sometimes mask and just take care of everyone around them, Adolin needs someone who can take care of him, and Shallan cannot take care of him. And he deserves someone who can do that.
I think there's truth to that.
Doesn't mean I don't love them as they are. I just think that it could be better in a different world.
Like if like you were on Roshar.
Yeah. If I was on Roshar and like I was with Adolin.
Yeah.
Get in line, honey.
How did people generally feel about her travels through the spiritual realm? Positive, negative? Let's hear it. All right, that was kind of halfway. Okay, which is kind of what we expected.
I think that, and this is one of the many things I love about this community, is that I'm also a vibes reader, and like the things that I loved the most about this book were Kaladin and Szeth and their journey, and Kaladin playing his little flute to Nail, and Nail saying, "Oh, do you know lift?" And then everything in the spiritual realm. And honestly, I just did not care for the military scenes. I could understand they were well executed. I just was tired. And I don't like it when people fight. So, but I think that I feel like a lot of people probably had the inverse of me. And I think that's what's so cool about this community and just the breadth of the stories, because everyone can find something to love and to discuss in each of them.
Yeah,
I think Shallan was so cute with just her fangirling over Renarin and Rlain.
Renarin mentioned. Do you want anything? Do you have anything to share about?
It was really satisfying to see her come into her own and put down some of her literal and physical masks, and stop relying so much on these other characters that she's created internally that have become external characters for herself, and start to just be Shallan.
Yeah. The twist with Formless, did anybody call that?
I did. Not super early, I'll admit. But about like halfway from when we first saw the Formless to when she stabbed, probably about halfway, I was like, I bet that's Eatil.
Oh, that's that might be the twistiest twist that ever twisted.
It was a thought I had, and I was like, nah, it can't be, and I threw it out. And then I regretted throwing it out.
So because then Eatil, like they would have been spying on her and like known everything about, but like through book 4, I was just like,
yeah,
earring, Vince earring all over again.
So I'm going to shift gears a little bit on Shallan, but how satisfying was it to find out who her mom was?
I love that. Yeah, that was a good one.
How many people here attended the World Hopper Ball last year?
Were you here?
So we got that reveal there, which was just phenomenal.
So
We were all 3 together, and Channa like walked right past us, and it went over our heads. We were like, "Oh, that's a cool Channa costume."
As soon as Wit was like, "Go back to Braze, you storming mad
We were
woman,"
like, "Oh my god!"
CJ Cosmere Quandaries, I went and I found him, and I basically tackled him. I was like, "The Channa Mama theory is true."
yeah.
I want to shout out my friend Maggie, who is the reason I'm here because she got me into Stormlight. And we had like little book clubs because I didn't have all of you last year. So leading up to Wind and Truth, we have little book clubs. I mean, we still have book clubs. But she came to our Oathbringer one with a trifold cardboard poster board and a bunch of different pictures of Channa and different cuts and clips from different books and red string. She literally made a red string board.
Oh my god.
And she was
Love
like,
it.
sit down, everyone.
I'm in
gonna
awe.
talk about the
I am
Channa
in
theory.
awe.
And it was,
Cosmere Nerds are giving Swifties a run for their money. Right?
period.
And we need to talk about
Pregnancy.
baby.
Oh,
She's
yes.
pregnant.
I'll be honest, it went right over my head. I did not catch on.
Oh,
No,
me too.
We were in a Discord chat together,
Yeah.
and we were like, "She's pregnant," and you're like, "No."
I
And
was
then
like,
we were
"No, she's not. What are you
she
talking
cradled,
about?"
It says she cradled her belly, and like, well, maybe her tummy wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Homegirl
she
ate
like,
too much
I'm like,
dairy.
when do you use the word cradle if your tummy doesn't feel good?
To be fair, though, I feel like
Got
it's
no
the
excuse.
maternal instinct that picks up on those things a little quicker than anybody else.
Gary has
so,
that really good.
Like, not to say that dudes can't pick it up, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I zeroed right in on it.
I'm sorry,
Say
I
what you will.
didn't.
My
but I
wife's down
also
here being like, "I didn't
don't
see
ever
it."
catch any twists ever. Like literally.
We're just vibe readers.
We're just vibrators. But I think it's because like my default when I'm anxious, which I guess is always, is like, ouch, tummy ache. And so when Shallan's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to care for myself. And then another, and I was like, yeah, you need some Tums, girl.
Sometimes.
So
I'm excited for little baby Cola.
So yeah, what is the time bubble gonna mean, Seth, as the expert Cosmere Academy?
So the time bubble.
What's it gonna do to Adolin's relationship with his offspring?
It should not affect the time, or at least his relationship with her too much, assuming she can get back to the physical realm, which we don't know. Maybe she'll find a way back to the physical realm, and if so, then they'll be a happy family raising a baby. If not, then he won't meet her or him.
But if she leaves,
Oh, if she leaves.
if she leaves and leaves the time bubble to come
Which
back,
would be a bold move for her to do. I hope
I
she
would
doesn't.
hate that.
I would hate
I
that.
would hate that.
Do we
But
think she's
yeah, so the
leaving or
time
staying?
bubble, what's going on is, we had 2 shards merge and a massive influx of investiture, which does wild and unpredictable things. In this case, it caused a time bubble. And that slowed down Roshar in comparison to the rest of the Cosmere to a kind of a 1 in 8 ratio. It was really, really fast at first, and it's going to be really, really slow later on. But on average, it's a 1 in 8, 10 to 80 is the math that Kelsier and the Ghostbloods do. As he says, so it'll be 10 years on Roshar for 80 years the rest of the Cosmere, which puts it at, so the Mistborn Era 2, we see it happen in the epilogue of Wind and Truth. So all of Wind and Truth, or all of Mistborn Era 2 happens between page like 11, or like 1021 and 1031 of the book. Just 10 pages of Wind and Truth is all of Mistborn Era 2. And then Mistborn Era 3 takes place 50 years after that, which still leaves about 20 or 30 years left on the time dilation. So Mistborn Era 3 will then happen. Then after Mistborn Era 3, Stormlight 6.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm so glad you're paying attention.
Shallan
Again,
might show up. If Shallan does show up in Mistborn Era 3, then she's going to age
Mucho.
40, 60, 80 years, however, whenever she leaves.
I was just going to say, I like when they swing big sword, but I'm glad you paid attention to all these things, yeah.
Before we move on, Shallan, just real quick on the if hopefully it's possible she comes through. My friend Audrey Adenauseum, who you should follow.
We love her.
We love
I
her.
love
She
you,
has
wherever you
a video on Yasna, and she does a lot of theory crafting. And she shared, she's like, I think Yasna is going to master Else Gates during the 10-year gap and be able to bring Shallan through your ethereal.
I could see that happen.
And I'm just like,
That's a good
I don't know
With what
how that
investiture?
works. I was just about to say, I have no idea.
Okay.
But yes.
Well, there's no Stormlight.
Well, listen, that's in my brain.
There's
It's
Tower Light, but you have to
Yeah,
be able to
Tower
get
Light.
to your ethereal to use the Tower Light.
Also, Brooke from Cosmere Connections at the Stormlight Archive. I'm just like, sorry, real quick. Favorite thing I've ever heard in the world. She said at the Stormlight Era 2 theory crafting session, because if Shallan has a baby, Adolin has basically like helped heal Maya. Shallan has this like connection heraldness going on.
Yes.
Is it possible that Shallan has pattern, Adolin has Maya, and baby has testament?
That's cute. I like that. That's
I
adorable.
know. Okay, that's all.
I'd be okay with that. Little baby and their little play buddy. Okay.
All right.
Dalinar and Honor.
And Honor. This is a loaded one, and I don't feel qualified to speak on this.
This is where I
so
get to brag just a little bit.
do it.
Do it.
If you guys have been following me for a while, over like about 6 months or 7 months before the book came out, I made a video with a theory about how the book was going to end, and I basically called what happened. So the way I presented it was a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
So I said that I thought, Dalinar was going to lose the contest, and in the moments right before he died, he would use his bondsmith powers to push the power of Honor into Odium and cause Odium to be merged with Honor, and therefore, literally, he would be bound by Honor, not only to the system, but to Honor's, sensibilities. So, I mean, I was kind of off, but I pretty much got the gist of it.
That's crazy. And I'm not a good friend because I never saw that video. But
You suck.
wow, gotta turn on
Is
notifications on your page.
Is this why you hacked his account?
That's exactly why
That's
I hacked
it.
his
That's
account.
the whole reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, obviously, like so many of these characters had their big Sander launch, their big epic moments in prior books, and I think that was something that I felt like I missed in Wind and Truth, is that like an Oathbringer we have when Dalinar says you cannot have my pain, and so I don't want to say I felt like his arc had completed, but I feel like I didn't have this big satisfying moment that I wanted with Dalinar in the end there. And to be frank, I was a little bit confused what was happening with the contest and when breaking the contract. And
So
Totally
valid.
fair.
So valid.
and unfortunately, at that point, I had realized if we lost, if the good guys lost, that Dalinar was essentially going to become the Blackthorn and help Odium conquer other planets. I very much found myself rooting for the bad guys. Because looking at the second arc, because hopefully, like some of you, I like Dalinar a little drunk and covered in shard plate and choosing violence. And so I felt like we were getting hinted at, like, oh my gosh, we're going to lose. And then, Adolin and Herald Kaladin are going to have to go toe-to-toe with this new form of the Blackthorn. And so again, my expectations were not met, but...
I think we
Fan
talked about
fiction.
this in planning. I think, at least for us, and maybe you guys will agree with this or not, but I think a lot of the negative reception for the book on release was due to our own expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was exclusively, and it wasn't even anything Brandon did, really. It was because we've been living in this story for, we're in 2025 now, so 13 years, basically. We've all kind of had our own expectations of where it would go, and we all had our own desires. And Brandon intentionally didn't give us any of that.
Yeah, he wrote the book that he, felt he needed to write. And like I said, it's always a treat to be in Roshar, and I can't expect him to please my juvenile expectations. and my main expectation that I came with that I think was like coming to the end of the book, I was like struggling with was if there's any howlers out there, I was expecting a sort of like Morning Star conclusion where things were going to have like a pretty definite conclusion with, obviously, we knew like another arc was coming down the line, but in theory, I felt like I was going to be able to finish this book and in theory like not have to read the second arc to kind of follow up with these characters in a way. So it was coming in with expectations that were met, and I think with I haven't done a reread, I've only read it the first time, and I think with a reread, knowing what happens, I think I would enjoy it a lot more than I did.
Yeah. I think like we have to remember like how many fans like just casually read and don't come to Nexus and like aren't aware or in the bubble. I was like listening to Brandon's podcast, and he mentioned before Wind and Truth came out that one of the things that they were discovering with his beta readers was that people were thinking, they were expecting to get, just like you said, basically Hero of Ages. They were expecting a big climactic conclusion,
Everyone
and then
dead.
you're going to jump to a brand new story next, and we're going to wrap up everything with Odium. And so people went into the book with the expectations that that's what they were going to be getting, and then they came at the end and like, well, it's a big cliffhanger. They didn't get, the Hero of Ages, they got Empire Strikes Back. Right, where like the heroes lose at the end, and now you're like, well, what's gonna happen in the next one?
Right. Can we chat a little bit about Szeth and Nightblood before we? Well, we have a couple more things, but we want to get to your questions.
I know, it's so
but
many things.
Actually, I wanted to get a quick audience check. Did people like Dalinar's, the way that he concluded the end? Like,
Okay, wait.
combining things?
Pause. Raise your hand if you liked Dalinar's conclusion. Raise your hand if you did not like it. Raise your hand if you're pretty neutral, you don't really care. Huzzah.
It was mostly positive,
Can I do one more?
Yeah, do it.
Raise your hand if you hate baby champion Gavinor.
Oh, I hate it. Hate it.
Just so
I was
Poor
going to bring
baby.
this up, and I
I'm sorry,
totally
I'm sorry.
forgot. No, you're good. Thank you. That is hands down the least favorite thing that Brandon has written in a book.
So
Probably actually my least favorite thing I've read in a book ever. And I don't know if that makes it good writing or bad writing. I hated it. My wife and I were listening to the audiobook together, and as soon as that reveal happened, we both turned to each other and we were like, what kind of monster? Brandon's
Brandon
the
is
type
the
of
monster.
monster.
And I think we need to clarify, because like we've been like preparing and we've been talking and really diving into our opinions, but like when we say like we're not satisfied with it, it's not that like we hate the story. We hate that it happened to a child, and
Yes,
this happened to
we
someone.
hate that a
respect-
lifetime was stolen from a child.
Yes, like we hate that this happened, but in a way that makes Brandon a great writer because he inspired this rage within everybody.
Visceral.
I mean, Taravangian
Visceral
would
reaction.
do this.
Yeah, Taravangian would. Like,
Yeah.
Hot take: Taravangian is a mean guy.
hot take.
take.
Burning.
He's a sweet old
So
man.
I'm
The
very
hottest
brave.
of takes.
I'm
Yasna
very
was
brave.
unfair with
You
him.
are brave. But I respect what it got Dalinar to do. Like, I get it. I respect it. It had to happen. But that doesn't mean I have to like it.
Can
Yeah, that's fair.
I lead with my
Yes,
favorite
please,
part of Seth?
take it.
Yes.
So my favorite line with Seth was actually not a Seth line, it was a Kaladin line. And that was his moment when he realized that that Seth wasn't like him, he was like Tien.
What?
Yeah.
He sees Seth with Molly, and what's left of her. And
Oh my God!
and he breaks down and has that realization that like he's like, who did you lose? Who did you lose? And he's
He's
like,
Tien. Yeah.
no, this is Tien.
Yeah.
And he didn't have someone to protect
That part
him.
made me cry.
Oh,
I was
I'm
like
fighting
ugly
it back
crying,
right now.
folding
Yeah.
laundry.
I'm just dissociating.
And that was probably my favorite moment in the entire book.
So good.
It was genuinely just amazing. My favorite line in the entire book, probably the entire Stormlight Archive. It used to be, you cannot have my pain. It's now, I am not a thing. And I'm fighting back tears now just talking about it.
Nightblood.
Let him flow. Cry,
I-
Seth, cry.
The way that Szeth interpreted the fifth ideal of the Skybreakers, I am the law. I never once, maybe some of y'all did, and you're smarter than me. I never once thought that there was room for interpretation of that beyond just the literal law of the land. But his I am the law was I choose for myself. I am the law of my own life. And him being able to say, I choose to be happy. I choose to fight. I can choose whatever I want to choose. And that was his fifth ideal. Just amazing. Sorry.
So good.
I spent
So good.
All the flowers.
I spent an entire 45-minute therapy session, literally top to bottom, just on Kaladin's fifth idea.
And then Nightblood did it.
Yeah, well, Kaladin's idea, I remember I was like so excited, what's the fifth idea, what's the fifth idea? And I read it and I was like, that's stupid. And then it was only stupid to me because I don't give that permission to myself. And so I was like, that's stupid. Oh my God. Just stunning. Stunning. And then CJ, Cosmere Conjuries, I was like finally done crying after 3 weeks of reading Wind and Truth. And he was like, so, you know how, Kaladin couldn't save Tien in book 1. He couldn't go to war for, in place of Tien. He finally got to do it at the end of Wind and Truth.
Stop.
Girl.
I didn't do what CJ did. But Szeth didn't have to be a herald because Kaladin could finally go to war for Tien.
Cool.
The parallels
one
are
day
crazy.
I
It's
wear
like
eyeliner,
Brandon
man.
planned this or something. Like he's an architect or something. Yeah.
See, and this completely shifts my perspective about Kaladin's fifth ideal because we were talking about how
Seth is weeping.
Seth is like dying.
You can tell.
But like he didn't have to work for that ideal. Like we didn't see him put in effort and like overcome something huge for that. But that just gave me a really beautiful new perspective on that. Thank you.
That's really cool.
Thank you, CJ.
Yeah, CJ, you're the bomb. We love you.
I want us to get to
sorry,
questions
did you
so
want one?
quickly.
I know,
Did anyone have any thoughts on anything they want to share?
We need to jump to questions. We can. There's
Okay. Just one more thing, maybe before questions.
Really fast.
Okay.
Super big.
Yeah. We love the awkward boys. We love the golden retriever awkward boys. We love them.
Okay, so I just love them, and I love them so much. And I think the thing that I love the most is everything. And the second thing that I love the most is I love it just, Okay, so Renarin at the end of Oathbringer, I think about that scene with him and Yasna constantly. Because at the end of Oathbringer, that transformative love of Yasna being like, no, I am not going to kill you. I love you, and we can figure this out together. And Renarin being emboldened by that, and then just like the freedom as he just like flits across the battlefield, just so happy. And then to see Renarin grow into himself. And Shallan even remarks, Brandon does such a good job of, in point of view characters, describing other characters. Like the way that like Navani is annoyed by Shallan's secrets is like, it's just like sitting in different people's heads. He's so good at that. And so just like watching Renarin's confidence grow and Shallan remarking on that. And then, oh my gosh, and then the fact that Renarin constantly struggles to understand people, but Rlain takes the time to understand Renarin, and then Renarin loves like the rhythms that the listeners use, and he's like, oh, I can now interpret emotion better. I can now like understand tone and nuance better because of the rhythms. And then he starts learning the rhythms and humming it, and Rlain's like, and the two of them, just like the bridger of the mind, Rlain, like you asked me earlier if anyone could have like their own book, I would want it to be Rlain. And I'm just so excited. I was really thrown off, and honestly still don't understand why Ba Edo Mishram was like interested in, actually this might be my question. What is Ba Edo Mishram the unmade of? I guess I wasn't expecting that she was set on relationships, and I just think it's really beautiful that these like two bridgers of the minds the bridge boy and the bridger of the mind. Wait, I guess he was never, okay. Anyways, Bridge 4. I'm so excited for the back half. I'm so excited to see the kingdom that they build, hopefully, that we saw a lot of foreshadowing of.
I don't know if I have an answer to the question. I don't actually know.
What?
Ba Edo Mishram, what is she the herald of? There's theories. There's lots of theories.
Okay, do we intentionally not know?
I don't think we have any confirmation on it.
Okay.
Boo me if I'm wrong. But
No.
Boo.
Don't boo.
I certainly don't know, but what I do know is I think Renarin and Rlain are such important characters, and they're so easy to cheer for, because I think we all painfully understand what it feels like to not belong,
Yes.
and to feel maybe on the outskirts of something. And I mean, we're all at Dragonsteel Nexus. I don't think any of us were Mr. Popular. So it's easy to connect with these characters, and it's easy to root for these characters, and you just want them so desperately to get out of their own heads and, you know, say, you're worthy. You're worthy of a relationship. You're worthy of finding your people. And that being said, there's a lot of questions I have. I mean, it's like the carapace is very spiky. It's barbed. And just from a logistical standpoint, this was very surprising to me. And I do wish that maybe we had seen some other interspecies relationship prior to this, because it was shocking to me initially. And again, just from a logistical standpoint, I found it very icky. But again, I'm happy these characters found each other.
I'd like to chime in. In our discussions previous to this panel, I had shared my opinion that, while I appreciate Rlain and Renarin, I found myself slightly struggling to read their chapters because I felt that their representation of a romantic relationship was juvenile. But Milana made a really great point that they had never been in a relationship before. They had never experienced like having a crush and having the feelings that you have when you find someone that you really like. And so I appreciated that perspective because I wanted a more mature relationship.
That it is
I
juvenile,
wanted a more...
but like for a reason.
Right, yeah. And so I appreciated that perspective. So thank you for sharing that because that really helped me appreciate who they are as a couple a little bit more.
Do.
Yeah.
You know, like it was.
Sorry, TD. I forgot that you
Plus,
said
I mean,
that.
it's
It's
as
fine.
adults.
I mean, I also talk about them a lot, so it's okay.
I feel like even as adults sometimes, you know, I mean, who doesn't get a little juvenile with your crushes and with your relationships sometimes?
Kicking your feet. Do you think he likes me?
Yeah, I think their lack of initial game, for lack of a better term, was what made it charming. You know,
They got no riz.
yeah, zero
Got
riz.
no riz.
Got no riz, but they got a gliss.
They do have.
Haha, that was so funny.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought they patterned really well what a healthy relationship can look like, as far as like being aware of the other people and striving to make room for their differences.
Yeah.
That's valid. That is very valid.
Yeah.
Okay, should we go?
Do we go to questions?
If
Questions?
that's okay. Any?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
We okay with questions?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say just a reminder: if you guys want to go in and upvote all the questions you want to see at the top, because we're going at the most liked comments.
Yeah, most liked comments. We probably won't see your new ones coming in, so make sure your friends are seeing your comments and liking them so that they can bounce at the top here.
Yeah.
It looks like the top one is not a question. Like this if you think Moash sucks. Pause. Milana, I think, did you have a question about this?
Oh, okay. Guys,
We
don't
didn't even
be-
talk
don't-
about the
don't be
ice
shy.
spikes.
Don't be shy.
I called that.
How did-
Cheer if you really, really, really like love Moash and hope he has a redemption arc. And
Woo! You all know this
Security?
about me.
security, I saw one over there, 3 back there.
Seth as well. Seth was
Yeah, Seth, get out of
quite
here.
boisterous.
Off the stage. Just kidding. Okay, but yeah, like this, if you think Moash sucks, only 70 people too. Like, there is more than 72 people out here, and I know because I'm scared out of my mind up here, okay? There should be more likes on it. Okay, first,
Mo called the ice spikes.
I did call the ice spikes. I made a theory video about it, like back when I first made my account.
So cool.
Was it
Almost-
first-
Guys, this book
With-
is so big. There's so much that we just can't touch
I know,
on.
it's so hard. Okay,
It's a big
first
book.
question. Invested in the Cosmere said if you could
My boy
change
Tom.
the fate of one character in Win in Truth, who would it be and why? I would say none of them because...
Gavilar. I mean, sorry,
Oh,
Gavinor.
Gavinor, that's true. If I could change
Gavinor.
that. But then, what would that mean for the
I'd
next
change
step?
it anyways. I'd change it anyways.
I don't know.
That's a great question.
I don't like what ifs, and I don't like.
I don't like what
says,
ifs
As
either.
Brandon says, I don't like going back in time and changing things because we've seen how that story's played out.
Yeah. Ditto Brandon Sanderson.
Oh,
Non-answered.
is like, oh, it is Win in Truth. So I was like, bring Teft back. Sorry. Yeah, thanks. Bring Teft back. My third hot take. Teft is great.
You're on
Love.
fire today.
I think I might have changed Dalinar's.
Interesting. I disagree.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, like, we'll never talk again. But I think, just kidding. That was a joke. I love Seth.
Platonic soulmates.
I think I understand why Brandon did what he did. I think actually, like, just listening to how Brandon reflects on Win and Truth, I think I'm having, like, the wrong reaction. Like, Brandon wanted people to be, like, uncomfortable with
He
the
did. He
ending.
specifically said
and I'm
that,
like,
yeah.
I love it. But I think, honestly, what it comes down to is I just wanted him and Adolin to have not like DMs, like internal thought DMs in the spiritual realm, but I wanted them to actually have a moment. And I understand that. I appreciate that Dalinar is like not a great dad because that like adds nuance and complications, and he's not murdering people, so like celebrate that win. But I do wish that there could have been a moment of more acceptance.
I changed my answer. I want to copy you. Yeah, I would have liked some more closure between those two, because that tension had been building up the last 3 books, and like just good feelings and good vibes was not the most, like, for me. Like, I would have liked a better conversation.
That's a good point.
As I shared, I would love to see Dalinar return as an evil Blackthorn, but it would also been cool if, while Kaladin busted out the flute, it transformed into a spear, and then he stabbed people.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I love the flute, and also, yeah.
So, next question is, if Kaladin became a herald, what do you think happened to Syl? I'm going to give a really boring answer. I think nothing changes with her. I think their bond remains exactly the same. If anything, they just have more direct access to investiture.
I feel like if I ever got to ask Brandon a question, I would ask him if there is any more significance to Syl, because I feel like she's set out to be such a special, unique character as, like, the first daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm not seeing any of this significance directly in correlation with the Stormfather.
But I did see.
Now,
sorry.
you're good, go.
I did see a theory. Does she now take over for the Stormfather in creating a new honor spread?
That's what I was going to say.
We don't know. So that would be my
that
question
you?
to Brandon.
No.
Okay.
It'd be the Storm Mother.
The Storm Mother.
The Storm Mother.
Ooh.
She is Mother.
Mommy.
I love that. Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about little Syl babies. That's so cute.
Anything else?
I forgot the question.
What happened to Syl?
What happened to
Yeah,
Syl?
what happens to
Oh,
Syl?
Has anything
I
changed
don't
with
know,
her?
but I think in my brain they're like both cognitive shadows, right? Maybe?
Right.
And then they're both like just like
Which is a
beings of
topic.
investiture with their like still brains and intent, and it's confusing because investiture like now can think for itself. This is where my brain goes, what? But I do love that the Syl. I love that it wasn't a Syl spear, I guess I'm going to say. That the honor blade was a spear. It was separate from Syl. And then, I forgot who someone recently pointed out. I completely forgot this detail. But that Kaladin's eyes turn back to brown.
I love
And
that.
he becomes a herald. And Herald Kaladin has been the background on my phone for a year now. It's been a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good cry over here.
What do you got, Tanner?
I
anything
have no idea what happens to Syl. I'm still confused. Like, what happens to the Radiance? I'm not up to date on my theories because there's no more Stormlight, and so I don't know.
And no more Krem.
Yeah, no more Krem.
No more Krem?
Tragic.
No more
Can I
Krem.
still call people Kremlings?
Oh.
And Brandon has said that the local fauna, they use the Krem to make their gem hearts. So no more Krem might mean no more gem hearts?
And then, like, slightly off topic, but Brandon also said in another interview that, like, in his brain, the Stormlight Archive is the first 5 books, and the
Now
back
it's
5
the
books
Voidlight
is
Archive.
gonna be
The Voidlight
called the
Archive.
Voidlight Archive, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool because it's no
Dun,
more.
dun,
Which, if he thinks that's the whole back 5 books, that means we're probably not getting it back, Stormlight back, in any of the other 5 books, or at least not till the end.
Think we'll get a new prologue?
I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. We could use another one of Kalek rounded the body of a dying thunder class. I think is the first words of the book.
Start down here on the next question. What are your thoughts on the Yasna Odium debate? Deliver on its promise or fall sadly short?
Ooh. It was really interesting to see Yasna fail at something.
Yeah.
which, she's everything she touched kind of turns to gold in a really interesting way, and she's just so gifted and intelligent. And it was really fun to see her sweat and be uncomfortable and not be in control.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
She's way smarter than I am. And so I was able to follow Brandon's train of thought, but I don't know if she could have done any better.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be part of her character arc in the back
Probably. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I also like it. It was a personal attack. Like the whole thing is it was a personal attack instead of you can war with a god who has access to infinite texts in the Cosmere and philosophy, and she is incredibly smart, but a historian, a versatilian, not necessarily a philosopher. But I think that she needed to fail. It was good to see. I mean, she has a lot to
You
learn.
need all of your
a lot to
protagonists to fail at some point.
Yeah.
All right.
Got nothing to add?
Next question. Kay Ellis said, how did you feel about Shallan being left in Shadesmar while pregnant and will likely give birth without Adolin? Honestly,
I'm holding out hope that she's going to get back before.
I have no idea. I'm just here for the ride.
If she is to do a water birth, would she do it in the beads? like a tub birth situation?
I have logistical questions.
Hysterical.
That's actually the most important question, I think.
Yeah. Glad we brought it up.
Is the spoiler Q&A today?
I'm
just gonna, can you just sit here until Brandon gets here? And
I'll
be
do my
first?
best. Yeah.
Anything else to add on that one?
I don't think so.
Whose reaction are you most excited for when Kaladin inevitably returns?
Adolin.
And, the amount that Adolin thinks about Kaladin and the support, he draws support from
What about
the
Sig, though?
stories he heard. Oh, Sig.
Sig, yeah.
But I think Adolin still.
You think Sixel will see him come back?
Well, there's that snippet in Sunlit Man.
Spoilers for Sunlit Man.
We already said it was going to be full spoilers.
Oh, do we? Okay. My bad.
Shut up, Gary.
Breaking Gary.
I thought it was just spoilers for Women.
You're going to hack your account again.
Breaking Gary. No, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Let's see.
How do you feel about the use
thank
of
you.
time distortion at the end of the story? How do I feel about it? I think it's fascinating.
Right up your alley.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see, because the rest of the Cosmere is going to have time to advance. We're going to be getting into Mistborn Era 3 is essentially modern age, and
Like today.
it's like 1990s, yeah.
Ooh.
I think Brandon said it's going to be like a 90s spy flick is what it's going to feel like. And so that's where the rest of the Cosmere is, and Roshar is not. They're going to kind of be left behind. It's going to be a really interesting dynamic there.
Yeah.
Related, did we like Hoyd's interview for the Ladrian household?
That was so fun.
Because that was one of my favorite little moments at the end. And
There wasn't a lot of cheering. So did
Wait,
people not
I
like
actually
it?
don't remember this.
so at the end of the book, Taravangian Retribution tries to kill Hoyd, right? And he
Evaporates
gets, however, through magic that I am not, Seth could explain, he goes to Scadrial and reappears there. And then in
He had a
scene
clump of
later,
cells left
you
over
see
that he
him
regrew from.
doing an interview to be a butler for Wax from the Ladrian family.
That's cute.
And he's
Coach.
having the whole, the lady who's hiring him, he's sitting down talking about his qualifications. It's great.
I think I just couldn't see the words because I was crying about
Yeah,
Kaladin.
the epilogue
So
is him
I'm thanks for
applying
telling
to
me.
be
that's
a
great.
coachman.
Missed that.
So that's how we know that Mistborn Era 2 happens between those pages, is because the time dilation happens, Hoyd gets sent back. And in that scene, when he gets sent back to Scadrial because he had a clump of cells that he regrows from, the next scene that he's in is him applying to be Wax Ladrian's coachman, which happens before Alloy of Law. Then when Shallan is talking to Kelsier's like, we already had our own crisis here, which is probably talking about the autonomy crisis.
And was that the very first scene in all of the Stormlight Archive where we're not on Roshar?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And Kelsier is combing his hair. It's cute.
What?
He was combing his hair.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't pay attention to anything, but I see
genuinely
Kelsier on the
missed
stage,
that.
and I'm
This is
like,
news
what
to
you
me.
do,
Oh,
Kel?
yes,
And
yes,
he
yes,
was like talking to Shallan, and Shallan is just, honestly, this was like literally like one tiny 3-word sentence, but Shallan was talking to Kelsier, and I was like, it looked like he combed his hair.
I'm
was like-
excited for the next question. It says, who do you think claimed Dalinar's soul?
No one. I think that Dalinar himself went into the great beyond, but Blackthorn, whatever the Blackthorn was, stayed behind in the spiritual realm, collected by Terravodium.
I think they're talking about the thing. There was a voice that said,
there was?
this is claimed,
Edge, I
he was
missed
claimed
that.
by another, and there was a warm light, and a part of Dalinar's soul got sucked off.
I forget the verbiage, but it was like,
yeah.
it seemed to imply that someone protected him and slipped him away out of Odium's grasp.
I think it was Noadon.
And Noadon is
Noadon?
the one. I think it was Noadon.
I think it was Noadon.
Noadon's alive?
So I think that the
Hiding in the
Noadon that
spiritual realm.
Dalinar interacts with is the Noadon. He's been living in the spiritual realm. That's my theory.
No,
And we're on the
keep
same-
talking.
They opened a bakery. Dalinar, Noadon, now they live together, happy-go-lucky, and they're cooking bread together. I'm not even joking. I'm being so serious.
No, I can tell you're so serious. What's your evidence? Like,
Well,
not in a
Noadon
antagonistic
is
way.
the only in the visions.
They had a scene
Noadon
together.
is the only entity that carries memories between visions. He remembers Dalinar from the vision back in.
Oh my God.
So
Ooh,
even if
was
it's
it
like a
Oathbringer?
copy of Noadon's
Sorry, guys.
soul, like Dalinar, like the Blackthorn is a memory of
Like
Dalinar.
Basher or
Like
someone?
there's some form of Noadon in there, and
I
Dalinar's
think
having
it
the
is
visions
the
and
flesh
interacting
and blood
with him.
Noadon.
I missed that. That went
I
straight
literally
over
think
my
it's the
head.
flesh and blood Noadon. He transferred into the spiritual realm, and he's just been kicking it.
And they're making bread together?
They're making bread together. Well, they
Yes.
did already.
They did
once.
on screen.
Like most white
once,
ladies,
you know?
he's baking sourdough.
Yes.
Oh,
I love the sourdough.
It's the shin sourdough.
Yeah.
Shin, the good
yeah,
stuff.
I want sourdough bread now.
Wow.
A little bit of
Next
cheese.
question.
help me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, next question.
What's your favorite sourdough?
There's a bit of heated debate on the use of Kaladin using the word therapist. What is your opinion on that?
Loved it, hands down.
Really?
No notes.
I wish Hoyd said therapy. I wish he'd said you're becoming a therapist. Did he say therapist?
Yeah, he said you're your world's
You're becoming
first
the world's
therapist.
first therapist. Then never mind, I'm okay
And
with
then
it.
he says, what's
I thought
that?
he said
I
you're
have
too busy
So
inventing
Hoyd told
therapy.
him you're a therapist, and Kaladin took that ish to heart.
Yeah.
He really did.
And then took Ishar in the heart. Ish.
Wow.
I think TD and I might be on the same page here.
I
We
wanna-
think
yeah, I
it
wanna-
might be a little bit out of place. Like it kind of.
It feels like a tone shift. It felt like a concluding scene from like Guardians of the Galaxy rather than like a
Are you his
Stormlight
god?
scene. I'm so
No,
sorry.
I'm his therapist.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I that line specifically, I read an interview, and Brandon literally said, he was like, I knew that line was going to be controversial, but sometimes you just got to do things that make you smile.
Yeah.
And I was like, heck yeah, Brando Sando. And so I think it worked for me. I didn't mind the modern tone as much, but I just like, even if I did, I feel like knowing that it made Brandon smile, I'm like, that's worth the cost to me now.
So we had the one controversial line, but I know this isn't a question, but the one line that I think we can all agree that we loved was the return of Honor is dead, but I'll see what I can do.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Right? That was
Yeah.
beautiful callback.
Our
I
dramatic king.
liked the therapist line. I didn't like that line.
Whoa!
Okay, we have beef again. So.
I loved it in Words of Radiance. I thought Brandon calling it back was just a little bit of a nostalgia poke.
Even,
And I
The
ate
nostalgia
that
worked
book
on
up.
me.
Yeah. I loved it.
even though that like Kaladin's always just been like
He's
that
such a
girl.
drama
He's
queen.
such a drama queen. Like you don't think like
It was very Kaladin.
It
you're
was
right.
very Kaladin coded.
Yeah.
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 Next question is, what are your thoughts on the Ba'edo Mishram plot and how that resolved by the end of Book 5?
Seth, I think we're out of time.
I do think
Oh,
we're getting a
Seth,
red
we
light
really
here.
are out of time.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, guys, we are out of time. Please go to your next panels. Wait, but not yet, because we have like a couple more things to say. The first is, we love you.
Yeah, what she said.
The second is,
Oh,
thank you for being here.
Switch to that.
The third is, we all have social media accounts. Please follow us and follow our friends, just because we love each other and we love making content. And it's such a gift. Thank you so much to all of you. And do you have any?
Come say hi if you see us.
Yeah.
We love
Oh.
saying, I said earlier at the very beginning,
I don't know.
it's my favorite part of Nexus is meeting everybody, so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
guys are amazing.
Anyone want to listen to me sing No One Mourns the Wicked before we go?
That's our cue. Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
Bye. Good night,
thanks,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Love you. Good day.
Thanks,